We're a little past the midway point of a 2-year window for public schools to follow a state ed mandate banning the use of indigenous team names, mascots, and logos. Westhill adopting the wolf pack now to replace Warriors. Joining us now, Westhill Superintendent Steve Dunham. Steve, thanks for being with us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff. Glad to be here.
So I'm really curious because a lot of districts have had to do this. They've had kind of their own process since this rule was first announced back in April of last year. What's the process been like in your district?
You know, it's been a really thoughtful process, I think, as most schools have probably experienced. Really goes back to June of 2023 when our board passed a resolution essentially committing to changing the nickname. And then, as you know, going back to last Monday, the board adopted a resolution to officially change the nickname from Warriors to the Westhill Wolfpack. So it's really been a few years of collaboration, planning, a lot of community input, multiple surveys, and as I said, we're really trying to tap into our students and alumni as well, and really trying to give them a very large voice in this process.
Did you have any input or communication with the Onondagas about all this to help either you or your school community kind of understand what's going on and the importance of this effort?
We actually had quite a bit, to be honest with you. I met with their clan mother and other leaders in the fall of 23. And I think with anything, especially a change like this, it really is important about really to take the time to get others' perspectives and to really listen to the background and kind of, as I said, the perspective of the Onondaga Nation, who's right in our backyard. So out of that, I learned a great deal about the Onondaga Nation, some things I wasn't aware of, really had a chance to get their perspective. And they've really been involved in the process throughout. One of our alum was actually one of the individuals I met with, and they were part of our nickname committee throughout this process. So it's been a great partnership, and for us, it's been a great learning experience.
So Wolfpack is the new name, the logo, the mascot. What is the process now, and what kind of cost is going to come with this change? What do you have to do to become the Wolfpack?
Two great questions. Yeah, so we make the flip officially July 1, 2025. And so the timeline really allows our programs right now to remain as the Warriors through the 24-25 school year. And then during that same time, we're really going to be involved in a really, detailed branding process centered on really defining and enhancing our identity through some cohesive imagery and also some messaging. Obviously, we want the Westhill brand to stand out and really stand for all the things that it has, excellence in academics and performing arts and also athletics. And then tied to that, your second question about the cost, really, it's going to be minor. I'll give you two examples of how we'll phase that in. One, we obviously knew we were going to be making a change, not knowing exactly what it would be. So in terms of athletics, over the last few years, when we've purchased uniforms, all of those uniforms have said Westhill as opposed to Warriors. So those won't have to be changed across the board. And then the other example is our turf field. One of the end zones does say Warriors, but we'll make that change kind of as we come up to the next step in our normal turf replacement cycle. So rather than replace the end zone, let's say next year, we'll likely get approval from the state to replace all of the turf in a year or so. So it won't be something that has to be done exactly by July 1.
Okay, that's good info. Maybe time for one last one. I'm curious, how quickly do you think Wolfpack is embraced by the school community? People there now, the alums, because obviously Westhill and Warriors have been together for many, many years now.
I think pretty quickly. Honestly, I was walking to the high school on Tuesday after the board meeting, and someone yelled out the window, "Let's go Wolfpack." So I'm hoping that's a great sign. But I do think, right, change is hard. But, as we've talked about as a community, we really feel that the Wolfpack truly embodies the values that Westhill's held dear really throughout its existence. The values of strength, unity, and resilience. Those have really been the core values of this community. So as we make this change, certainly the nickname is a change, and it's not going to be certainly one that everyone embraces right away. But I do think When you talk about a community's identity, it really is. It's about the traditions, and it's about the spirit, and it's about the people in the community. So I'm really optimistic that the community is going to embrace it and rally behind it. And look forward to to seeing how it unfolds as we jump into next school year.
Westhill Superintendent Steve Dunham. Steve, thanks very much. Let's catch up again as you get a little bit further in the process here and you get a little bit better idea of that imagery and branding and things like that.
Sounds great. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it.